welcome back to Property Palz.
He loves one of these ones, doesn't he?
My name's Ben.
Marcus.
And we are super duper excited for another week of Property Palz. This is episode number
11?
Number 11.
Legs 11.
Now, Marcus, wait, have we broken 10 subscribers on YouTube yet?
I can confirm we are only at 9 subscribers.
That's okay. So I know you guys play a little bit hard to get, but we're still awaiting our 10th subscriber on YouTube, but TikTok is going crazy.
TikTok is bonkers. We're getting a huge amount of likes.
We love the comments. We just love everything. So please continue to like, subscribe, comment, and we're going to review your favorite properties. Okay.
Today we were going to review, I hope, some of your favorite properties. What do you think, Ben?
So we have 5 absolutely ripper properties for you. And it's really interesting at the moment, Marcus. Like the market, despite all the interest rate rises, despite all the uncertainty that's going around, properties are selling.
They're selling, and Ben, on the weekend, the clearance rate was pretty high, I thought.
The clearance rate was extremely high. In fact, Melbourne has led the country the last weekend. So we had a clearance rate of over 75%. So there's people wanting to buy, there's people that are willing to sell, and the market is pretty strong.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. More people are more inclined to sell, I think, now than before.
Correct.
So I'll be interested to see in the next few weeks if the clearance rate is maintained, or if it falls off at all.
Particularly, it's currently, it's May at the moment. We're going to June, which tends to be a quieter time of the year because it's winter.
Winter, yeah.
So April, March, April, May, they're the strongest ones. But now going into June, it seems like the market still wants to sell. So without further ado, our number 5.
Number 5, Ben, 32 of 128 140 Chapel Street, St Kilda. Ooh. Now, 2 bed, 1 bath, 2 car. Has a second kind of powder room, so it's kind of like a 2 bath, but not with a shower. It's going to auction. 550 to 600k is the quote range.
Now that is an attractive quote range.
First buyer quite range.
That's right. And what happens if it's under 600k?
No stamps.
No stamps
no
payable.
No stamp duty payable, which is great. And Ben, it last sold in 2017 for 565k. Now,
similar to the quote range.
Similar to the quote range, Ben. Not much capital gain.
Not much capital gain, but then again, over those years, if you're owner occupying it, I guess you're probably paying less than rent with your interest on your loans. And I'm not sure though about the rental growth, so it'd be interesting to see if the rental growth had gone up over that time.
Yeah, it depends. I think a fun fact, Ben, not the current vendor, the previous vendor has the same last name as us.
Well,
so
that is a great last
obviously
name.
They have a great sense of taste for an apartment layout.
Agreed. We can disclose that it wasn't anyone related to us.
No, it was not. Oh, unless who knows, but it's definitely
Maybe a
not.
third cousin.
Yep. It says 69 square metres online. I'm a bit dubious. I think between 60 to 69 because it's 2 bed, 1 bath, 2 car. You've got a very similar apartment in terms of size, and you've got 2 bathrooms.
That's right. I've got 2 bathrooms, 2 beds, but my living room, it's very efficient. Very efficient in terms of, there's no wasted space.
Yeah, so it's in a great location. 69 square metres, then it's approximately $9,500 per square metre of internal area. It's in a great location, right near Balaclava train station, literally right near. Ideally situated just moments away from picturesque St Kilda Botanical Gardens. As I said, the train station and the vibrant energy of Carlisle Street. The resident offers unparalleled convenience, Ben.
Excellently written.
Top floor, 2-bedroom apartment offering generous light-filled spaces, high-quality features, and an unbeatable location as well. So, Ben, why do we love the layout of this apartment?
Now, let's have a look of it. So, make sure we're going to pop up the layout of the apartment here, and I'm looking at that, and I'm going, if I was living with you, Marcus, I know that you're a snorer. He actually isn't a snorer, but what we're trying to say is that the bedrooms are separated, so there's a little bit of separation between the bedrooms, so the noise between the bedrooms can't be heard.
And it's also, for example, if you have a kid, if you want a bit more separation in terms of your living quarters or your bedrooms as well. So it's really good in that regard, Ben. It faces northwest, but what a view! I don't think it could be built out because it's got a park across.
That's right, and there's a road in front of it. The park's not going to be built out.
You'd hope not, but it's a great view, and it says actual view on that too. I know that I think it's been renovated since it last sold. I checked and it used to have tiles, now it has timber floorboards. Ben, we love a bit of quirkiness and a bit of niche quality paint, don't we? So we've got a bit of blue paint on the walls.
To be honest, I don't mind it. I think it looks quite attractive, particularly with those brown timber floorboards.
Interesting, Ben. Yeah, I'm not sure if I love it. I don't hate it. I'm indifferent.
Some people will.
Some people will, but the other thing here is that compact kitchen. It's got the kitchen against the wall to save space, so that's similar to yours. Yours is a bit of an L though, isn't it?
Correct. Mine's more like an L, so it works a little bit more efficient. But this is a way that if you have you just don't have too much room. Everyone would love a kitchen bench, but then again, if the living room doesn't have the space for it, this is an efficient way to do it.
Compact living, and Ben, go to the balcony in terms of the bedrooms. If you look up here, the balcony, Ben, go up for you. It's solid. So the balcony, like the wall, it's solid, so you can't see through. I'm a real big lover of a balcony when you can see through if it's glass or if it's simply iron and you can see through it. Like with yours, you can see through it. It makes a real difference.
I would agree. And we commented on this last week when we reviewed Napier Street.
Yes,
Fitzroy.
we did, yeah.
And what's interesting when I was reviewing our podcast as we do to make sure that we're delivering the best value to all
Best
our
quality.
keen listeners,
9.
is that there was 2 levels there, one of which you could see through, one of which you actually couldn't.
Okay.
And so what we're talking about, like Mark said, balustrades that separates doesn't mean that you're going to fall off the balcony. But yeah, you can't necessarily see through the whole version there. So that limits the view that you've got out there.
Exactly right. You're on the ball, Ben.
I said basically what you just said.
Yes,
so.
thank you. Bedrooms are both big size, like both of them. So go to the
Good.
floor plan. I think
Okay.
they're 3.9 by 3.4 from memory, 3.2 by 3.4, and
Good.
3.9 by 3.2. Gee, I'm on the money.
At the very minimum nowadays, that you've got to build bedrooms 3
3.
by 3, and so it's over that for both of them. So I think they're acceptable.
And the window to floor, floor to ceiling windows, I think. Ben, the one thing that I was going to ask, look at the car spaces.
Ooh,
Tandem car spaces by the look of it. So Ben, tandem quickly, we've talked about it before. What is a tandem car spot?
well, it's rather than the cars being side by side, so they're front and back, which means one goes in, and generally speaking, the other one then goes in front of it. So in order to get the one behind it out, you've got to move the car first. But that said, you'd rather have two spaces that are a tandem than just one. One thing to note too as well, Marcus, and so it is a 1 bathroom.
But I said it's got a...
Correct. So I guess someone can be
Powder.
showering and someone can be going to the toilet at the same time, which is great, unless you don't mind having a shower next to
Oh,
someone.
sorry, Ben, actually. No, but you're right. I think it doesn't have a separate toilet. So it's only got a shower and bath in a separate room, and then it's got a toilet in a separate room.
So yeah, so the toilet there, and even the toilet, I don't think there's you can't wash your hands in that
Basin
toilet
there.
area there too as well. So look, I think you would rather have 2 bathrooms, but again, I think the layout, the location, it's all pretty good.
Yep. You know what we're trying this week? We're going to look at the camera a bit more. That's our...
That's it.
That's
I
what
wanna
we're trying
see
to
it.
do. Ben, but
look at my beautiful eyes.
You've got beautiful eyes. You do. Last thing I want to say, median asking rent in St Kilda is $425 a week. Median value is $518K.
Okay, so-
and the change in median value over the last 12 months, 7.5%.
Up or down? Down. Okay, well, that's probably reflective of the overall market. It's a little bit above what the average place is, but I think it's a good property.
Good property. Ben, I'm throwing over to you. Where are we going to? Where else?
Now, we're going into the one, the only, the suburb of Collingwood. Now, Collingwood is, as we've mentioned many, many times, it is a absolutely bustling location. And this property is unit number 102, 9 Little Oxford Street, Collingwood.
You like this building, don't you, Ben?
Well, this building, I've been past many a time.
I've been in it. We've been in it.
That's right. We've gone to inspection to a couple of apartments actually in this building. What's really interesting is that, look, it's a 1 bed, 1 bath, 1 car. It's a private sale for $480,000. Now, Marcus, what's the difference between a private sale and, say, an auction?
Isn't it? So an auction, when you go to auction, you have numerous different bidders. Private sale, you don't have an auction, so it might be that you're negotiating just with the agent, and you don't necessarily know if there's other people who are interested.
Correct. Well, kind of. Now, that's more like an expression of interest, where you submit an offer, and then the agents get the offers, and then, they create a bit of competitive tension. Maybe there's lots of offers, maybe there's not. But a private sale, in this way, generally looks like it's an asking price of $480,000, but that's not to necessarily guarantee that you will get it for $480,000. Now,
Still be a bit of competitive tension.
That's right. So say the agent might say to you, well, look, thanks, got your offer, but I've got to now go back to all the other buyers to say that we've had an offer at $480,000. Does anyone want to get greater than an offer? But look, I think the fact that it's asking for that, if there's no other offers, well then, that should be the price that someone's going to be able to buy it at. So this property here, though, it's a 1-bedder. Now, this is, for a first-home buyer, again, a very attractive quantum of dollars. No stamp duty payable on that. And the layout itself, it's not a huge apartment. Now, it's noted in the listing that total area is 56.4 square metres,
So over that 50 square metre threshold generally that
but that's not necessarily internal area.
Oh, did you look?
So I looked, I mean, it says total area. That's a really important thing to note when you're looking at properties, is that when it says total area, that's including the balcony a lot of the time. Now, internal area does not include the balcony. In terms of what I've looked at it, it's not a big balcony. Maybe it is 6 square metres, the balcony in total, so it's approximately 50 square metres.
No dimensions, Ben.
That's a very, very keen observation, Marcus. So if we pop up the floor plan here, you'll see that there's no dimensions for the property there, and generally that's done on purpose because I'm not sure how big that bedroom is, I'm not sure how big that living room
Having
is.
said that, though, it might not be done on purpose. Sometimes that's what we think it is, but...
Yeah, kind of. So who knows really, but I think the importance of this is that you need to get in there and inspect the property. You need to go in there and feel, is this big enough for me? You know, do I like it? But there's a couple other things that I wanted to talk about it. This development here, it was developed by Outline Projects.
Oh, Ben.
Which we know they've got a couple of different things going on around in the area at the moment. Designed by Kennedy Nolan.
Do like Kennedy Nolan.
A good architect. Now, it's an 8-storey residential apartment. It's on Little Oxford Street, so it's a small little street. It's just tucked, literally, I would say, a stone's throw from Smith Street. Boom! It's in a beautiful location. I'm in Smith Street, Gertrude Street. It's right in the heart of, honestly, probably one of the coolest places in Melbourne. There's lots of restaurants, lots of bars, lots of amenities and
wants
lifestyle.
to live in Collingwood.
And it is. It's just a couple of tram stops away from the CBD. Now, this building itself, it was designed incorporating like a warehouse base. So it's got bricks facade on the base, and that was kind of drawing reference from the McRobertson confectionery factories, which are speckled all over Fitzroy and I think also in Collingwood.
Geez, look at that detailed research.
I do my DD. Now, this building was completed in 2018. Now, there's 29 apartments of 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom apartments in there. Look, overall, the one positive too, it's got an island kitchen, an island bench in the kitchen, and
Could I just say one thing I wanted to ask you? It's
Jump
got a
in.
sliding door, Ben, for the bedroom. So that it's just
very keen observation.
different to your standard, like usually you want your open and closed door.
I think a lot of people would, and I probably am the same. But
I'm
then
the
again,
same.
when you've only got so much space, and have a look at the interiors, like it looks pretty cool. Exposed concrete ceilings. It's got what sort of lights are those called, Marcus?
You don't know?
No idea.
A rung of lights? I don't know.
A rung of lights.
I forgot.
Okay, and then it's actually the kitchen. It's not really too much of an. I guess you could call it a mini island bench kitchen with a bit of storage down below.
Floor? Yeah.
Overall timber floorboards. I think the interior is done really, really well.
It's tasteful. It's minimalist.
Very
And it's
minimal.
nice, yeah.
But very attractive. Carpet in the bedroom, which is nice.
Good,
You know, if you're walking
underfoot.
around. Looks like it's got some good good wardrobe to store stuff.
Go back, Ben, just to the bedroom.
Oh, there we go. The bedroom.
They've used a bit of pallets as a bed base. I like
We're
that.
Collingwood.
We
Like, you've
are,
got to
yeah.
be hip and cool. Now, the bathroom looks okay. The balcony there looks okay too. And might I point out, this is probably one of the most desirable directions to face in this street because that faces onto Little Oxford Street.
Oh, it does it, so it can't be built out as such.
Oh, and that's a very interesting point that you might say because directly next to the north of this property, there used to be a permit approved site. And so that was for about 8 levels of residential apartment. Then north again, one
Well, it used
over
to
again.
be.
So I think the permit might have expired.
Okay.
So when you have a planning permit in property, there's a limit on the time that you can to build it once you get given the permit. If you don't do that,
You can extend.
that's right, you can extend, but sometimes they won't necessarily extend it. But so, you know, once you get the permit, you do need to build in a certain amount of time. It's not going to just be okay to do in the next 20 years. And that permit, I think, has expired. Again, if you're going to purchase the property on that basis, do your DD. But also north of that one, again, there's a tiny little boutique 8-level office development too as well. So there's a lot
really?
of, yeah, very small, very
Really?
cute and small office development.
there you go.
And then
About
also
behind.
across the road, you might be worried, oh, I'm going to lose my view. So to your northwest, which you can just see if we pop up the photo of the balcony, you can see that there's a brick 2-level building directly on the right of this picture, but then just next door to it, there's like a 1-level brick building. That one there's approved for a 4-level residential development. I think
So
it
it's
might
not
be
gonna be too
4-level.
tall.
Not too tall. You're still going to get a bit of sky there.
A little bit. Lastly, I know we've spent a lot of time. Look at the balcony, men. Usually they have polypad tiles. In this development, they've got timber slats
Ooh, I
and they've
like
got
it.
the drainage underneath.
I think that's a little bit of X factor, Marcus.
It
But
is.
all in all, there was one one that sold in. It's a great saying. Apartment sold in this same development. It was a 2-bed, 2-bath, 2-car. Sold, I think, last year for $1.125 million. Which, if you look at the internal area, that ends up being around 13K a square metre.
Okay, Ben, done pretty well. Is there anything else?
Well, I do have other things to say. And then, so that means when you compare that with, say, the one that we're looking at the moment, private sale, $480,000, it's 50 square metres internal. So then the square metre rate is less. Now, naturally, this is on the first level, so not as desirable as the third level, but I think value-wise, it looks okay.
It might be less than 50 square metres because technically I think you've got to have an 8 square metre balcony for a one-bedder.
You might.
I believe.
You might.
Does it have a anyway.
But see, that's 48 square metres, that's 10K a square metre, so you might be right. But all in all, I think, I've said it one more time, great area, great interiors, and for a one-bedroom at, this sort of price range, pretty good.
Beautiful,
okay, number
Ben.
3, Marcus.
Number 3, 10 of 264, Williams Road, Toorak. Now, Ben,
we've upgraded, haven't we?
We have upgraded Toorak. This provides good value, I think, this property. So 3-bed, 3-bath, 2-car, going to auction, 1.2 to 1.3 million is the quote range.
Now, that's still a decent amount of money.
Considerable amount of money, but for Toorak, near Hawkesburn Station, near Toorak, it is awesome. Sold last in 2016 for 1.03 million.
Okay.
Now, it was built in 1970, Ben. I've done my DD. This development is within the Gaber Hubei designed the Poplars. This is, I think, one of about 15, 16 townhouses in the development, I believe. Okay. Full development overall area is 2,165 square metres. This delivers, it is big, it delivers low maintenance living between Toorak and Hawkesburn villages. This one, I think, by the looks of RP data, price finder, it's 150 square metres of land, which equates to approximately $8,666 per square metre of land. Okay. Listed for rent in 2020 at $780 per week. That probably would have gone up.
I think so.
Within walking distance to Hawkesburn Station, how elite. So only moments to Hawkesburn Station, trams, Chapel Street, Como Park.
Would you go to the point of saying it's just a stone's throw
I
away?
would say a pebble throw, Ben, even. Cinemas, it's got reverse cycle, air conditioning, panel heaters, powder room, laundry, and 2 basement car spots.
Great.
Yeah, it is. Floor-to-ceiling windows to allow natural light to stream through the generous living room.
And that is, talking about that, we'll pop it up here where you can see in the backyard or from the inside looking outwards. Those are beautiful windows.
They are, Ben. The windows there. And look at this space. You've got a little nice patio area. Not patio, but it's like outdoor area. You put your barbecue, put your seating, and have friends over. It's actually really, really nice.
Idyllic. And look at those windows on the inside. I love it when you've got floor-to-ceiling windows and you feel like you're in what do you say? In the...
Come on.
In Narnia. Or in, what's it called? The magic faraway tree. It's beautiful.
Good. And the wishing well.
The wishing well.
The wishing chair.
Okay.
But you're right, Ben. I think it's been really well done. It looks good. It's open. And the difference between floor-to-ceiling windows and having a spandrel and then the window is considerable in the amount of natural light you're getting in. I love the bedrooms.
You feel like you're in a treehouse.
Yeah, you feel like you're in literally the magic faraway tree. Did you say that?
I did, yeah. Now, overall, how's the layout? 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms next door to each other. What's the size there, Marcus?
Now, Ben, are they fat? Are they big? 4.4 times by 2.5.
Okay.
Right, so 2.5's on the slender side. I'm not sure if I'd fit in there.
It's okay. I think it would suit some skinny people.
Yeah, you're saying something.
Then the other bedroom next door to that is 3.8 by 2.8. Look, so overall, and then the master the main bedroom, it is 4.6 by 3.6. That's large and attractive. Nice. The other 2 bedrooms, I think probably the difference though about them, because you've got those floor-to-ceiling windows, you'll feel like it's more spacious than
bigger. Yeah, I think I love that secondary bedroom, which is actually on the corner. I reckon that's a ripper. Living area downstairs. Now, Ben, you know what's great? It's got 2 powder rooms. One's downstairs, one's upstairs. You don't have to go anywhere.
Wonderful. And 2, with these 2 as well, Marcus, and we'll disclose, we haven't inspected this property, but those car spaces saying on the floor plan, not in position. So there's an owner's corporation, and part of the owner's corporation land will be the car park, and so it's a common area for all the owners in that complex.
Yep.
And so it's not like you just drive your car in the back of the property. There's a common car park area.
Yeah, I think it's a basement. It says a basement on the listing. Need to double check that one. Ben, overall, I think it provides great value for someone who is looking to buy at that range. You're in Toorak. It is challenging to get into Toorak for a townhouse.
And a good quality
Yeah.
accommodation as well.
Yeah, so all in all, Ben,
Well, all in all,
it's a good option.
And median house price for a house, mind you, a house in Toorak, probably the land is a lot bigger, but is above $3 million.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. And we'll put the median house price in Toorak
I'll have a
here,
check. While you
but
go on to the next one, I'll have a check.
That is a great option for someone that likes to be in Toorak for not a small amount of money, but more affordable than the median house price in Toorak.
Let's have a look. All right, go on to the next one while I find the median house price.
Okay, now this one I'm incredibly excited about. We are taking the train or the tram or whatever we want right to the heart of the Melbourne CBD.
I'll get one of the scooters in the CBD.
Oh, very nice. Now,
Thank you, Ben.
this property is Unit 1101, 16 Liverpool Street, Melbourne.
Oh, Ben, Liverpool, what a great name.
Is actually the penthouse.
The
of
Penty,
Melbourne.
is
And
it?
what's unique about this? It is a 1 bed, 1 bath, 1 car.
One
Penthouse, Liverpool Street. Now we'll put up like a map of the CBD. It's just off Bourke Street in the Paris end or the eastern end of the CBD. It is an absolutely ripper location, and a couple of different things just to about the background of it. It's going to there's an expression of interest closing on the 13th of June at 2 p.m. So get those bids in. It was built in the year 2000 by architect Daryl Jackson.
No way. Was it Daniel? Daryl?
Daryl, good old Dazza. Daryl Jackson, which now I think his firm goes by Jackson Architects. It is 158 units, and he's now actually done quite a lot of other projects, particularly in the education and the sports stadium space. He did the design for the new Victoria University CBD building, which is the tallest educational building in the whole of Australia.
Well, there you go, Jackson.
And so he's done a lot of sports stadiums and the lot, but this one, I think this is actually a very attractive apartment complex to be in the Melbourne CBD because it's location too. So there's 3 apartments on the top level, and it notes the listing that there's no adjoining walls, so you don't need to be worried about noises from adjoining apartments. It faces west, so
The sun's
there's
gonna get you in the eye.
potentially a little bit of sun in the afternoon.
Can I just ask, Ben, is this the elevator only service this property if it's got no adjoining walls?
That's a good idea. I actually didn't even think about that. How do you get into the property? Now, there's an entry there. Well, maybe what it is that, well, there's no adjoining walls. So, again, disclosing, we haven't inspected this property yet, but the common area where the lift is, perhaps that's the only area that's touching the walls of your apartment there. But what's really interesting, Marcus, is the size. Do you know how big this apartment is?
Ben, not bad, good size, I reckon, this one. This one's pretty small. Like, if I had to have a guess, 40 square metres?
Wow, I think you've hit it right in the money. Now, the listing doesn't explicitly say how big it is, but from what we can do by adding up the numbers of the living room, the bedroom and the bathroom, and then a little bit extra, it comes out to about 40 square metres. Now, the quote range for the expression of interest is $590,000 to $640,000.
Quick maths, how
What's
much
the max?
is it? Oh,
Come on, you got to tell me. Go.
16K per square metre?
Wow, right on the money.
Thank you.
$16,000 a square metre. Now, that
Internal.
for a existing apartment that was built in the year 2000, that's a high amount. But often, as we find with property, when things get smaller, the rate per square metre on land or on internal area does go up. And given that this is the penthouse, comes with a car, which I think is serious X factor in the CBD.
Yeah, you're right.
And also, too, the balcony area is almost bigger than the actual internal area.
62 square metres, Ben, it's bigger.
62
22 square metres more.
of this balcony. In fact, you could probably just pop up a tent on that terrace there and sleep in the tent if you wanted to.
Well, Ben, that's a serious question. Could you actually develop on the balcony, potentially?
Without going into a lot of detail about the planning, it's a good question, Mark, is that if you were to develop on that balcony, you might need to get approval from not only council, but also the owners' corporation there. So I think it would be quite a complex thing to be able to do.
Even if your title extended?
Good point. And you need to actually double check on the title of the property about if your title includes that area. You might be able to, but the balcony might count as the exterior facade of the property. Look, I wouldn't cross it out.
Yeah, interesting
I wouldn't
one.
cross it out.
Ben, this one here, we've discussed this. This presents serious X factor because if you don't live in it, this could be a genuine, awesome Airbnb in the
this
CBD.
would go crazy, I think.
It's perfect. Like, I reckon your return would be greater than the rent that you'd be getting in each week if you were just renting it out.
That's potentially it. Or maybe it would have like an X factor rent if you were to rent it out. Because I can see for some sort of, even for business people, like that's awesome living.
Yeah.
Right? Very convenient because it's just,
Compact,
I would say
you don't need-
compact.
yeah.
I'd say it is a stone's throw of the Parliament Station, which is right nearby. There's a new Le Meridian Hotel, which is nearby.
Oh, Le
Pellegrini's
Meridian.
restaurant. Ruyi is in the retail shop in the basement of the development. It's a great modern Chinese restaurant. And there's also a new restaurant by the one, the only O'Brien Group, which is going at the old Jobs Warehouse, which is on the corner, two not nearby. It'll be really cool, have a courtyard.
We're not plugging it, we don't know them, but
We don't
it
know
looks
it and
good.
haven't been there yet, but at least that's what I can see. Interestingly, in the building there was a 1-bed, 1-bath zero car, which sold recently for, it's actually for sale at the moment for $400,000 to $440,000.
How big is it?
In terms of similar area. But you can see that it's $400,000. This one is nearly $600,000. But, when you're on level 1 versus the penthouse, I think, I would know where I would be rather living.
If I was like wanting a pad in the city, if I had the cash of $600K to splash, I would genuinely, and I'm not looking for great, huge capital gains, I'm looking for just the lifestyle. This is much better than your units that were developed in like 2016 with the dog boxes.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think the main thing of properties that go up in value, this property has X factor.
It has X factor.
So I can see for owner-occupiers, for renters, for Airbnb, has serious value.
Ben, last question. Could you get a loan?
A loan on this one. This is an interesting question too, because we know that with some banks, they have requirements for the minimum internal area that a property can be for a bank that'll actually give you a loan. So sometimes if the internal area is too low, they won't give you a loan.
Is generally between the 40 and 50 square metre mark. Like if you get down to 40 square metres, some banks will do it, but not all.
So anyone that's interested in this that is considering getting a loan, we would recommend that you check with your bank first that they can finance this one. All good. And that's number 2. So up to the 1.
Number 1, 80 Kent Street, Ascot, Vale, Ben.
Oh, wow. Come on, look
2
at this
bed,
one.
1 bath, 1 car. And this is niche. It's a warehouse, I think. Is it a conversion?
That is a converted warehouse.
Ben, it is. It's auction, 880 to 940K. Now,
that's not a bad value.
No, not bad value. Could be first home buyer value. The land area, Ben, is only 98 square metres.
Okay, so about 100 square metres.
No, well, it's asking $10,000 per square metre on land. So is that high?
So
For a general residentially zoned block.
It's a really interesting question, Marcus.
Thank you.
Because depending on certain areas, some people would say, yes, that is a high value. Other people might go, well, how much internal area am I getting per square metre of land? The general residential zones have requirements if you build a new house that you have to have a certain amount of external area.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying deep soil planting, but you have to external area setbacks, etc.
That's right. So you've got to set back, you've got to have open space requirements. But because this is already built there, this one it's more efficient than your average general residential
It is, and it's
block of
tall.
land.
It's tall, but Ben, there's actually no heritage overlay on it, by the way. I thought it
Interesting.
was interesting, and I looked at the street view, Ben. I looked at it,
You've
and
done your work.
I've done my DD. They've actually painted the exterior of this since the last. So if you look on street view, it looks like the property next to it. So it's had a bit of a renovation, as you can
think
tell.
it looks fantastic.
Last sold for $404K back in 2005.
Oh, wow, so it's been owned for a while then.
Yeah, it has been
Almost
owned for a
10
while.
years. 20 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
20 years. Yeah, good maths.
maths.
If you look at the pictures, like the renovation, I love the beams.
Wow. Love an exposed beam, right?
It's just the appeal. I just fall in love with it every time.
It's just gorgeous.
It is, and then you've got the floors,
Fireplace,
the
the floor
fireplaces, and Ben, you've got this little. I don't know. Is it internal? It's like
I can't tell
balcony
actually.
at the back.
Does that have a roof or is that exposed?
I
think
feel
might
like
be
it used to
exposed.
be actually a living a space, but they've opened it up to enable natural light in.
Great.
It's got those fans at the top, big bedrooms.
And that clearance.
Oh, what's clearance,
Wow.
Ben?
So clearance is from the floor up until the underside of the ceiling, and the clearance generally for some residential apartments is 2.7.
Yeah, 2.7. If you get more than that, you're doing well. 2.4, it can be under your
That's right.
bathrooms and your kitchen sometimes, where they've got services above. But 2.7 is the standard.
And this one here, again, without actually measuring it myself, but that looks pretty high in the
It looks
bedrooms.
high as hell, Ben. I reckon.
It's very, very high.
Go to the next one. What else do I have here? There is a. If you look at the windows there. You got a bathroom floor plan. At the bottom, you've got your car spot.
Yeah.
Then you've got a living room. Could that be a home office?
the
Coming from
garage.
street? Oh, well, the garage, or just here, and you lock it off.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, Marcus.
Thank you, Ben. And then you've got the 2 bedrooms upstairs.
They both have windows, which is good. It's not like some of these warehouse conversions don't have a proper window. Now that one is interior looking,
Still
but
pretty good.
there's no bedroom there, so it's fine, I think.
You're sharing a.
So there's I think we've realised something, haven't we?
Yeah, you've got a bathroom up the top. You're sharing with a study nook, but then you've got only a powder room. Oh no, maybe it's not. It says a washing
Washing closet.
Yeah,
so
it looks like a dunny.
Now, the dunnies downstairs, you do have an area to wash your hands there, and the shower room will be a bit of an issue, but it's only 2 bedrooms.
You and I could share. We'd be pretty good.
I think, we'd work out some sort of system, and we're clean enough that we'd be able to share.
Yep.
But look, this is great. North-facing living room, north-facing, one of the bedrooms upstairs, north-facing. This is a super cool location.
It's niche. Yeah, let's go to the location, Ben. Are we within walking distance at Ascot Vale Station?
Now, I don't think I can say a stone's throw.
Nah, I think it's more like
Not
probably
even
a
stone's-
vortex.
Yeah, not even a stone's vortex. It's
vortex.
like more so like a helicopter.
Oh, no, come on.
Okay, sorry. Okay, well, it's probably a brisk stroll.
We'll look down. What's the next station? Is it Moonee Ponds or is it Flemington?
Newmarket.
No. Oh yeah, there is.
Newmarket's the next one. So it's. I think it's close enough. Definitely still walking distance from Ascot Station. Close. I can see a couple of Ascot Vale Station. Couple of there's kindergarten nearby.
It's got trams along the main road, which
Very
will
good.
zoom in for me so I know which road it is.
So that is
Ascot Vale Road.
Vale
Should have known.
But overall, I think it's very good, Marcus.
Awesome. Ben, well, I think we just have gone through a few of our favourite listings on the market at the moment. Tell us, would you buy them for the price? How much would you buy it for? Would you not consider them? But other than that, I think we'll wrap it up for podcast episode number Legs 11.
Like, subscribe, leave your comments below, tell your friends, tell your mum, dad, your aunties, your uncles, tell your school teachers, tell your work colleagues. You got to like and subscribe to Property Palz.
Thank you.
See you later, guys.
Bye.